I once left the house on time. Once. I don't remember it happening, but I have photo evidence. Every other day it's the same crime scene. Full glam face done in 10 minutes flat, and then I black out and come to 25 minutes later mid-argument with a pair of pants that I swear fit me perfectly fine yesterday. Anyway, today we're talking about time blindness. 10 minutes for a full face of makeup, 25 minutes to pick a top. My brain genuinely cannot tell those two numbers apart. Anyway, this is Anyway, I Have ADHD, a podcast for people whose brains work on a different operating system and nobody gave them the manual. I'm Han, late diagnosed ADHD, mum of two, founder of Neurospice Nation, and still slightly confused by the fact that nobody noticed for 31 years. Not one person. It's almost like they've never met me. Every week we pick apart a different corner of ADHD life. The stuff that's funny now but wasn't at the time, the stuff that's still not funny, and the stuff that's actually useful. No shame, no hustle, no wellness bro energy, just chaos. Warm chaos, with takeaways and hopefully you feeling slightly less alone or crazy. Today it's time blindness. Why 25 minutes can feel exactly like 2. Why I'm basically ready is the biggest lie I tell myself daily, and the one thing that actually helps. Anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so here's my exact pattern. Every single time. I start getting ready late. Not dramatically late, just a bit later than I should. Not a big deal, I think. I'm fast. And I am fast at makeup. I've done my whole face in under 10 minutes more times than I can count. Foundation, brows, everything, 10 minutes flat. It's genuinely a skill. So by the time my makeup's done, my brain goes, look at you. You're basically ahead of schedule now. What a legend. You've clawed back all that time you lost faffing about before you even started. Except I haven't clawed back anything. I've done one task fast. That's it. That's the whole win. Then I go to pick an outfit, and suddenly it's not grab a top done. It's 4 tops on the bed. None of them are right. This is too casual. This one's too try-hardy. Do these pants still fit the way I want them to today? And somewhere in there, my hair still isn't done either. And I think this is going to take 2 minutes. In my head, genuinely 2 minutes. And then I look at the clock and it's been 25. Every time, every single time, I am shocked. Like it's the first time this has ever happened to me and not a pattern I have lived my entire adult life. So I end up flying out the door, hair half done, holding my shoes, mainlining a coffee I don't have time to drink, telling myself next time I'll leave earlier, which doesn't fix anything because leaving earlier was never the problem. The problem is my brain has no idea how long 25 minutes actually feels like until it's already gone. If any part of that is you're not being dramatic and you're not being lazy. This is a genuinely well-documented ADHD thing. It's called time blindness. And it's not a personality flaw, it's a wiring thing. Now, this is where I want my husband to pay attention. So what is actually going on here neurologically? Time blindness isn't you being bad at planning. It's linked to how ADHD brains process time in the prefrontal cortex, which is the part of your brain responsible for planning, sequencing, and estimating how long things take. In ADHD brains, that area is less active, which makes it genuinely harder to sense time passing in real time. Not a metaphor, an actual measurable brain thing. There's also research suggesting that for ADHD brains, subjective time can pass faster than real time, which is why something can simultaneously feel like it flew by and somehow also took forever, depending on which bit you're remembering. Makes total sense of the it's been 2 minutes when it's been 25 minutes. There's also something called a shorter time horizon. Basically, ADHD brains are worse at sensing something as urgent until it's right on top of us. So earlier in the process, when there's technically still time, your brain genuinely does not register any urgency. That's why the outfit decision doesn't feel time pressured in the moment. Your brain hasn't clocked that the clock is a problem yet. And this is all tied to dopamine. Time perception issues in ADHD are connected to how dopamine functions in the brain, which is the same system behind motivation, focus, all of it. So this isn't a separate problem from your ADHD. It's the same root system showing up in a new context. Here's the specific mechanism because it's actually wild. Your brain has something researchers call an internal clock, and it lives largely in an area called the striatum, which is a dopamine-heavy part of the brain. That clock works by firing off little pulses and your brain counts them to estimate how much time has passed. That whole system runs on dopamine. In ADHD brains, that dopamine signaling is different, which means the internal clock doesn't fire evenly. Sometimes it's basically silent. And researchers have found this leads to a really specific, kind of funny pattern. People with ADHD tend to overestimate how long short amounts of time take and underestimate how long amounts of time take. So a 2-minute wait can drag forever. And a 25-minute outfit spiral genuinely registers as 2 minutes. It's not you being dramatic or careless. It's your internal stopwatch running on a faulty battery. There's actually brain scan evidence for this too. The frontal striatal circuit, which is the connection between your prefrontal cortex and this dopamine-rich striatum area, is measurably underactive during timing tasks in ADHD brains. It's not a metaphor. It shows up on the scan. So when I say I don't feel time passing the same way, that's not a vibe. That's dopamine not doing its job of firing off consistent little pulses so your brain can count them. Your stopwatch is real. It's just badly calibrated, and no amount of willpower fixes a hardware issue. Okay, so what do you actually do about it? I'm not giving you a 12-step morning routine because you and I both know that lasts about a day and a half. Just one thing. Externalise the clock. Your internal sense of time is unreliable, so stop trying to use it and use something outside your head instead. The specific version that works really well for stuff like getting ready, a visual timer. Not a normal countdown, something you can actually see draining in real time. A lot of people use the time timer, the one with the red disc that visibly shrinks. The reason it works better than a phone countdown is it's ambient. You don't have to actively check it and interpret a number. You just glance and see how much red is left. It turns time into something visual instead of something you have to calculate. Set it for the getting ready block, not each individual task, because the problem was never how long does makeup take. You know that bit. The problem is the whole block feeling like it's not moving. Put the timer somewhere you'll see it while you're standing in front of your wardrobe, and let it do the noticing so your brain doesn't have to. Little side note, this is actually one of the reasons I'm building DopaDo, the app I've been working on for spicy brains like us. It's got a visual countdown built in, so instead of digging out a physical timer or setting a phone alarm you'll ignore, it's just there. If you want to keep an eye on how that's coming along, there's a link in the show notes to jump on the list and get updates as it happens. If you take one thing from this episode, take this. You are not bad at time. Your brain just doesn't feel it passing the way other people's do. And that's a real documented thing, not an excuse you're making up. So stop trying to white knuckle your way into better time sense. Just get something external to do the sensing for you. Before we go, a very important reminder, this podcast is not a substitute for professional medical or mental health advice. If anything in this episode has stirred up something heavier for you, please reach out to a professional or call Lifeline on 131114. They're there 24/7. Thanks for hanging out with me. If this one hit home, send it to someone who's also perpetually 2 minutes away. Next week, we're getting into the ADHD hobby graveyard. The I bought $400 of supplies and used them twice thing that's been all over TikTok. So if that's you, you already know it's coming. Anyway, I have ADHD, and if you're here, you probably do too. New episodes every Wednesday. Follow the show so you don't miss one. And if you forget to follow and then forget the show exists entirely, no judgment. That's why I'm also on Instagram and TikTok at NeuroSpiceNation. Come find me, send me a DM, tell me your time blindness story. The I'm basically ready lie you tell yourself. The 25 minutes that felt like 2, all of it. I genuinely want to hear it. It's not just something I say. If today's episode helped even a little, a rating or review goes a long way. It's how other spicy brains find the show, and frankly, my ego could use it. Got a time blindness horror story or literally any ADHD thing you want me to pick apart, validate, and give the full episode treatment? Send it through Instagram or TikTok at NeuroSpiceNation or the contact page at neurospicenation.com. I collect these like Pokemon cards. And remember, you're not broken, you're just a lot. See you next week.